Hello and welcome to Vlogmas Day 18. So, today I'm going to see Spider-Man No Way Home and I'm so excited. I'm going to see it with a friend who I don't get to see that often, so I'm really excited to see her. And when we were in high school, we used to dress up for movie premieres and we would get really into it. Today I chose my blue and red. So we got the Spider-Man colors going on. I tried to do like a blue makeup and I'm gonna put on a red lip later. It's all gonna come together. It's gonna be perfect. And I am so excited to see this movie. So I will let you know what I think about it after. Disclaimer, I have only seen 2 of the Tobey Maguire movies, not the third one, and I didn't see any of the Andrew Garfield movies. But I have seen all of Tom Holland's Spider-Man and I know his whole story. So I'm really excited. But yeah, it should be a really fun time. I sit here in front of you, a broken woman. Yes, I am wearing the same shirt as yesterday. I got back at midnight and I literally just went to bed. I changed to pajama pants and I went to bed. Okay, so I'm gonna give my spoiler and non-spoiler review, starting with the non-spoiler obviously, and then I'll tell you when I'm gonna start spoiling things and you need to leave if you have not seen it. So first off, I am broken, but in the best way. It was so good. I absolutely loved the movie. It basically starts right where the last one ended, which I think is really nice. I will say that there was a lot of fan service going on, but I don't think it was done in a bad way. There's only like one time where I was like, this is a little cheesy. But most of the time, the fan service that was happening was really good, done, integrated really well, and felt very natural. In this one, we did get to see a lot more of MJ, like as an actual character, and I really appreciated that. We got to see a little more of her personality. And there was one quote that she said, something about how if you expect disappointment, then you're never disappointed. And I thought that was so funny because my brother says that all the time or something very similar. Not that she didn't have a personality before, but we just got to see a lot more of it from her, and I really appreciated that. And we got to kind of see a little bit more about herself versus her through Peter's eyes, and I really appreciated that. Okay, I really can't think of anything else to say that won't spoil everything, so I'm sorry that's not much for you, but you just have to go see it. You gotta go. Leave, go see it right now. All right, anyone else who is still here has already seen the movie, yes? Or at least doesn't care about being spoiled, yes? Okay, we are commencing in 3, 2, 1. You had your chance. Unfortunately, the theater that I saw it in, people weren't that into it. I went with a friend who was very much into it, so we had fun together. And there were a few times where people cheered and stuff, but it was a little bit disappointing. So, going back to the fan service and the things that I think like the fans kind of wanted to see, we got the Spider-Man meme. You're Peter 1, you're Peter 2, you're... I can't. It was beautiful. And then we got, I don't know if this is fan service, but when Aunt May said, with great power comes great responsibility, I think that's kind of fan service, but also as soon as she said it, I knew she was dead. She was dead. Uncle Ben said it right before he died. There was no way she could say that and live. So loved ones in my life, please never say that to me. I don't know how long you'll live after that. I think it's a death sentence. Watching her die was so hard because, with Uncle Ben, we knew him in the movie for like 20 minutes in Tobey Maguire's movie. In Tom Holland's Aunt May, we've gotten like multiple movies, more than 2 movies, to love her character. And I do love her character so much, and she's such a good like replacement mom for Peter. And it was so hard to see her like that. And then Peter's face when he was watching that happen was, you know, all banged up, and he has blood and he has dirt, and it just reminded me so much of how he looked at the end of Infinity War when Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. And it looked so similar that, oh, it just broke my heart. And from that moment on, in the theater, I had pulled my knees up to my chest with my popcorn in between. And from that moment on, I stayed in that fetal position and watched the rest of the movie from a fetal position because, oh, that was so difficult. And let's just get it out of the way. The other heartbreaking moment at the very end, when he has to choose, I mean, obviously, he made the right choice. It's either his universe, our version of the multiverse, is gone, is destroyed, or people forget who he is. You obviously sacrifice his life, not even him dying, just his, like, livelihood. Obviously, you sacrifice that for the whole world. But he just lost May, and now he loses literally everyone else. And, oh, that goodbye was so hard. And he did his handshake with Ned because he knew they wouldn't remember it. And Zendaya, and I was like, at the end, when they stopped talking, I was like, kiss, you better kiss. When he goes back into that coffee shop and he has his whole spiel prepared, and he saw how good their lives were. He saw that they were going to MIT. I really hope he didn't decide to just not try to be friends with them. Like, imagining being Zendaya, I would be so mad if he decided that my life was better without him, when I had literally just told him, like, come find me, I won't forget you, like, come back and convince me. And he decides, takes that decision for himself and decides that my life is better without him. That seems like a selfish choice, to be honest. I mean, I could definitely see why he made it, don't get me wrong. And the guilt I'm sure he felt when he saw them living such happy lives. But I would have been so mad. And obviously she doesn't know, so she can't be mad, but I'm mad for her. I'm mad for you, MJ. So, okay, did he decide to do that? Or is he deciding to, like, take it slow and try to develop a natural new friendship with them? Let me know what you think is gonna happen. Because I really hope he doesn't just abandon them, because I love him and MJ so much. Also, now, you know, this whole time we've been kind of far, with Tom Holland, we've been kind of far from the original Spider-Man, where he's like, they're a little more poor, they don't have that much money, he works for the Daily Bugle, like all that stuff. We've been kind of far from that. And now that he has to live on his own and he doesn't have May or anyone that knows him that can take care of him, now he has to make his own money and make his own way. I think we're a lot closer to that, like, original idea of what Spider-Man is. I think the comic book fans will be really happy about that. I'm fine with it, you know. I'm not a big I didn't read any of the comics. Sorry. But you know, I'm happy with that decision, but I still definitely want him to rekindle his relationships with MJ and Ned. I saw this other review by Seamus Gorman, and so to talk about one negative thing, there's not many that I have, but one negative thing is Seamus Gorman, the reviewer, was talking about how quickly Ned learned how to make the portals. Yeah, that's a little out there. That's a little unbelievable. I know we just, like, had all of these different Spider-Men and villains come from all these different universes, but that's the most unbelievable for me, that Ned can make the portals so fast. Because Doctor Strange took so long to learn how to make those portals, and Ned's just like, okay, here we go. And I know, obviously, like, he messed it up by not being able to close it, but still, it's pretty fast. And Seamus Gorman also pointed out that if that was MJ, people would have been up in arms. They would have been ready for a fight. Maybe because she's a woman, but we're gonna leave that out. Gotta talk more about the fan service. I know I have never seen the Andrew Garfield movies, and I'm going to change that. Don't you worry. I'll probably watch the rest of the Spider-Man movies that I haven't seen before I go see this movie again. But I obviously know the iconic Andrew Garfield scene and Gwen Stacy and all R.I.P. So MJ falls Peter's trying to save her, Tom Holland, and gets pushed by the Green Goblin, and then Andrew Spider-Man gets to save her. And he's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Are you okay?" I thought that was really funny. I kind of wished at the end they would have hugged, like she would have hugged him, but obviously she was a little traumatized from almost dying, so I understand why she didn't offer him any comfort in that moment. Also, the part where, you know, Tom Holland Spider-Man is going at the Green Goblin, just like boom, boom, boom. That was intense. And then Tobey Maguire Spider-Man comes down and stops him from killing him. I was so waiting for him to say, "This isn't who we are." Didn't quite get that line, but like the idea was there. Very impactful. Because obviously you know that Peter would have regretted that after he did this whole thing to try and save these villains, and then he goes and kills one. And then, you know, he obviously realizes that it was a mistake as soon as Osborn wakes up and is like, you know, what happened? What did I do? He realizes that that was the right move to make. And I think it was a good choice earlier to be humanizing Osborn by May finding him. Oh, wait. May's the one that found him and tried to help him, and he ended up killing her. I just made that connection. But anyway, I think it was significant that he's the villain that they chose to humanize. I mean, obviously he's the one that makes the most sense because he's the one that goes like in and out of like his villain state, the Green Goblin coming in and out of his mind. But to humanize him and see him as a normal person who wants help makes the most sense for how the movie's going to end up, because then at the end when he's evil and he kills May and he's like trying to kill Peter, it gives you the knowledge of what he could be and what he is still deep down inside. And then when he comes back out at the end, it's the relief of seeing that version of him again is really impactful. Also, the call for Miles Morales that Electro did, trying to like say like, "Oh, I thought you'd be black." I'm so excited for Miles Morales. I can't wait. I was kind of hoping we would see Catherine Hahn as Doc Ock, like in addition to the other Doc Ock, just so we could bring in the Spider-Verse. Because I didn't expect to see Miles, but like if we could start bringing in people from his universe, and also, you know, we cannot go wrong with Catherine Hahn. But I understand why they wouldn't want to, because she's also Agatha, and that could cause some issues. That character, I loved that Doc Ock, so I would have loved to see her this movie, but I am excited in the future to see Miles, and it seems pretty obvious that that's coming up at some point, so I can't wait for it. It's going to be awesome, and I would love to see Spider-Gwen. I want to see Spider-Gwen so bad. I need a female spider hero to fangirl over, but yeah, this was just such a good movie. I am so happy with it. I have to see it again. The moment it ended, I was like, when am I buying tickets for it again? Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the movie as much as I did. Leave any thoughts or comments down below. Stick around for Vlogmas for the rest of the month, and I will see you later.